above everybody else, and they are playing a game for his clothes. His mother is there, watching all this happen. And he said, "It's all right. I forgive you." And you've got to forgive them. How possibly can I forgive them? First, because you have to choose to. It doesn't happen accidentally. And you have got to, because God says it's a command. And the only way you're going to be like Christ is to forgive. So that's why we have to forgive. And let me tell you, those of you in here that have a deep root of something that happened to you, I understand how hard this is. Because let me tell you, you will spend a lifetime trying to forgive. So why forgive? That's who. I put this picture up here because everybody sees Adolf Hitler and your skin kind of jumps. Because there's some people out there that you need to forgive that you didn't even know. Because it's so deep within you now that you don't even know who it is. There are two people that you need to forgive. Those that hurt you. Do you know I've seen documentaries where there's been some Jews that ended up and survived some of the torture camps and some of those. And you know what they say? I forgive Hitler. How in the world can you forget somebody that killed your mom and dad, killed your family, totally destroyed your life? How could you forget those people? How could you forgive those people that hurt you? Now I want you to look in your life. Who's the Hitler in your life? Who's that one person that did everything they could to destroy you? That person that didn't understand you, didn't like where you came from, didn't like who you were. You're a constant irritant and reminder to them of something that happened in their life, and they hate you. And they're going to do everything they can to destroy your life. They walk through the halls of school trying to figure out some way to make your life miserable. They are hurting you in the deepest way. Got that picture in your head? That's the person that we're talking about tonight. That's the person. Now there's another group of people that hurt us. And they're those people that hurry by us. They tell us with their actions that we're not important. But you're a second-class citizen. They don't even look down their nose at you because they're not even looking at you. You don't even exist. You know, there's nothing more frustrating than being at home and nobody even knows I'm alive. That's a deep wound that you've got to forgive. There's somebody in your life that made you feel second class, that made you feel worthless, that made you feel like you were nothing. They just hurried by you like you didn't even breathe, like you never even existed. The person hurried by you. No, they didn't reach out and smack you, and they didn't take your boyfriend, and they didn't treat you miserable. They just treated you like you were nothing, like you were scum. You didn't even breathe to them. See that person? That's the person you need to forgive. Why forgive them, David? Because you've got to choose freedom. You're in bondage to them. They don't even know. They don't even know you're upset. You've been living 5 years and they don't even know. They've been out of your life for 2 years. And you're still angry. And you're still upset. And you're still hurt. Because God commanded you to forgive. You can't go any farther in your spiritual life without forgiving. See that person? Last principles, but you're like, how would get there, Dave? You know, I'm always torn in the book of Psalms because it says, I feel the Lord with wings of eagles. Well, I don't feel nothing because I'm sitting on the ground and I can't fly. How do I feel that? Trusting the Lord and He'll bring you out of the miry pit and set your foot on a rock. Well, man, I'm still slipping and sliding around. I don't know how to do that. I said, David, how do I forgive? How? I've seen the person. I understand who they are now. I even understand why I need to do it. But Dave, how? How do I do it? I want to give you 3 things. 3 things that will help you do it. Remembering it's still a choice. You're going to choose tonight. And at the end of this slide, I'm going to ask you to make a choice. But you're going to choose tonight whether or not you're going to forgive that person. And let me tell you something. Every one of you sitting in this room, you now can no longer escape it or hide from it. This is it. This is where the road stops. Tonight you are going to walk out that door and you are going to choose to forgive them, or you're going to choose not to forgive. And let me tell you something. If you choose not to forgive, you're going to walk out that door and you're going to be absolutely miserable because you're still going to be in bondage. But now you're going to know you're in bondage. So you're going to have to make a choice. Say, David, how? First thing that you have to do is you have got to focus on what God did for you. You know, so often we focus on what happened to us. And I would tell you I'm the same way. And turn on the TV starting about 2 o'clock until about 6 o'clock. You know what you find? Hour after hour of people saying, look what happened to me. Oprah, Dr. Phil, Jerry Springer. Look what happened to me. All this happened to me. How do you forgive? You've got to focus on what God did for you, not what happened to you. What did God do for you? Let me tell you a few things He did for you. There's lots of lots He did for you. Let me tell you what He did do for you. Number one, He came and He died. He didn't have to. He wanted to. And you say, well, David, He died for everybody. No, He died for you. When He was on the cross, you were what was on His mind. It was your sin that put Him there. It was you that He came for. If in Genesis 3:1 it said, and God created you, and you were the only one to be created, Jesus would have still came and you still would have died. He came for you. But that's not the only thing. Jesus keeps forgiving you. Yes, He died for your eternal security so that you could get to heaven, but man, He died for a lot more than that. You know the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer? That's God's byline. He knows what you did last night. He knows what you did last summer. He knows what you did yesterday. He knows what you're going to do tomorrow. And guess what? He still died for you. You know, it's interesting to me that God knew I was going to shake my fist in His face and go, God, I'll do what I want to do. And He still came and died. You know, some of you, if I knew you were going to stab me in the back tomorrow, I probably